Hi guys, sorry for the background noise, we are outside again. Basically, we're going to be starting with Biden's tax plan, then going on to why hyllion has moved up, and then we'll move on to some insider buying and some crash proof stocks. So Biden's tax plan. Some people, there's $35 trillion waiting on the sideline because they believe Biden will increase tax to 28%. Now, let's look at this logically. We are in the beginning of a recession in America and the world. You need people to spend. If you start hiking up the biggest spenders, the rich, I'm one of those who's all for taxing the rich, believe me. But if you start hiking up the biggest spenders, then they will just hold their cash, they will not spend. Some of them will move abroad to tax. They will move their money abroad to tax havens. You'll get nothing. They will register their companies abroad, like the cruises did. And you will. Do I think he will do the tax hike? Yes. I just don't think he will do it straight away. I think he will give it a couple of years. Anyway, next thing is hyllion, whatever you want to call it. Now, they've improved their website. People believe they have a UPS contract coming out. Why? Because they have under their partners, they have future partners, which is basically people they're talking to. There is UPS link, but that isn't confirmed. That doesn't mean they're going to get a UPS contract. It just means they're talking to them. Don't forget, UPS have given 1,000 truck contract to Workhorse. Also given a 10,000 truck contract to another startup. Doesn't mean they're going to give a huge contract to hyllion. It might mean that while they're waiting for these trucks to come into play, they put a few trucks into hyllion so that California and New York qualify for the green subsidy. Anyway, that's them done with. And don't forget to hit that lovely like button, almost as lovely as me. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Become part of the Saving Money Show family. We give each other hints and tips and updates about stocks and shares we talk about on the show. As well as that, you can ask me to look into any share you want, and I don't charge a Discord fee or ask for a Patreon. All I do ask is for you to comment in the box below and hit the like button. Even if you disagree with me, especially if you disagree with me, I like a debate. And if I do something wrong, I want you to call me on it so I can improve the channel. And why not check out the links in the description below? There's lots of others. I've used each one of them myself. I wouldn't give you links if I haven't checked them out myself. If you're looking for a free trading platform which should trade your stocks and shares, you can get a free share worth up to £200 for signing up and depositing a small amount. A free trade only requires a £1 deposit. The others require £100 or dollars, depending on which one you go for. Stake has over 3,500 US stocks on their books, which is the biggest one outside of the US. Whereas Trading 212 is one of the best and easiest platforms to use.
But as I said, I use all three. Anyway, on with the show.
Now, I apologise about the background noise. We're talking about stocks that are crash proof. I've gone back to the last 3 crashes to find stocks that have excelled during crashes, and I've tried to find stocks that haven't been in my previous crash proof videos. So here we go, we've got Tyler Technologies. Now this is one that tends to rise whenever there's a crash and does well when there isn't, but it does even better with a crash. We've got Rollins Inc. and sorry about that, and we've got Old Dominion Freight Line. Now I understand some people want to crash proof their stock with what's going on recently. Hopefully this will help. Now we're going to go on to the insider trading page and how it's affected me. As you know, I had 18 shares in Microsoft, and Microsoft, sorry, yeah, it hit 224, and I sold 10 of the shares because I'm a strong believer that you take more notice when an insider's buying rather than when an insider's selling. But they've had massive insider selling in Microsoft. At the same time, I'm bullish for Microsoft. I think they have a great moat. They've made some great acquisitions recently, some great partnerships, but they've risen so much that I'm trimming my position because they have sold, their insiders have sold so much so quickly before earnings. And that makes me a bit skittish. So I've sold 10 shares, I've made a huge profit on it, and I still have a position in it. Now, TransDigm Group Incorporated. Now this is a company which is an anomaly. It makes aeroplane parts, and while the aviation sector has been hammered this year for obvious reasons, this company has grown its profits by 12%, and it's only down 6%. So you've got a lot of insider buying in there as well. So I'm contemplating picking up the position. You know, it's increased its profits during a time when aviation has been kicked to the ground, and we've got insider buying. When you only have a float of 50 million shares and you have 1 million shares being bought up, that's 2% of the float, then that's a huge amount. Now, if it was just like 0.5% or something, I wouldn't even bother, but anyway. Energy Transfer. I held this before and I sold, but I took a profit and then it had a dip and I didn't buy back in. And I'm contemplating now, because there's lots of insider buying. It's a 20% dividend. I would expect that to be cut, but still be double digits when you look at the balance sheet. Now, I know it's an oil pipeline, but the oil pipelines don't rely on the price of oil. They like on the oil producers paying them to transport it. And I like the CEO. I like the fact it's insider buying. I like dividend. It's like a trifecta. The price is good. When you look at it, I wanted to trim my positions in oil and slowly come out of oil. That's why I sold when I got a profit from it. But now it's kind of pulling me back in. I do believe we will have a rise in oil at some point, because I think all these cuts to oil production, there will come a point where people all go back to work, all start using petrol again, and all these cuts will cause a demand for oil, and it will cause oil to rise, and that will kind of be a pinnacle, a turning moment for people to sell, because people will then take profits, sell out of their positions, and then you will have another downward trend before EVs take over. And I'm contemplating going back in with a small position, because it'll be 10 years before EVs take over, and I think I will make my money back on that. Zillow Group. Now I sold out of Zillow Group. I only had a small position anyway, and the thing about Zillow Group is it went up over 130%, and there's insider selling, huge insider selling, which I made money. When it hit 100%, I took out my initial investment, and there was just my profit left in there, and it was a no risk profit, and that's the way I like to do things. However, when there was a lot of insider selling, I didn't see the point in risking that. And you may have heard me saying in previous videos about my profit for the year going into Workhorse. I moved my money from things like Zillow into Workhorse because I saw warning signs in Zillow. It's the companies I saw warning signs in. Now, you may not agree with me, but don't forget, everyone's predicting a housing crash and a housing crisis as well. Anyway, the next one is one you may remember from my stocks to go ex-dividend every day, Kinder Morgan. And yes, I know it's another transport company, but it's huge insider buying, 8% dividend, and it's undervalued. Now, you have to wonder, is the 8%, is it because the dividend's going to be paid out that the insiders are buying? I doubt it, because it's not like they were unaware the dividend was going to be paid out, and it's just caught them by surprise. For them to be buying in, it has to be more than the 8% dividend, especially to risk it with the volatility of the election. Now, they obviously think there's something long term, otherwise they would move their money into safer, more secure stocks. The thing about insider buying and insider trading is it's not illegal unless the insiders start telling someone else. With Kinder Morgan, It's not just the CEO, but it's the CFO's wife as well. However, you can expect huge run up towards the end of October for the dividend chasers. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget to smash that like button and comment in the box below. If you want me to do an in-depth review, I know I do one once a month. I don't usually do every video an in-depth review, but if you may have seen them before. If you want me to do an in-depth review on EV stocks, because they're hot at the moment, then comment in the box below which stocks you'd like me to do an in-depth review on. And just to let you know, Ideanomics has just acquired 15% of a EV tractor company, Solartech. I will pop a video in the box below, in the description below, so you will be able to see what and find out a bit more about that. And remember, stay safe, stay savvy, stay investing. I'll see you in the next one. That's all for now.